Peter Obi is a very, very formidable politician now. He has
What makes him formidable?
It's because, I was going there, it's because of the passionate followers that he has. It's because of the reach.
Can we say he's the Buhari of the Southeast of sorts?
Yes, he's the Buhari.
Because they say that, okay,
exactly.
Buhari, you know, he had his fanatic 12 million votes.
Exactly.
That come rain, come shine,
exactly.
They are there for him.
Exactly. So the sentiment in Southeast, you know, is suggesting a Peter Obi presidency. Don't forget, Peter Obi won Lagos in 2023. I think he won Benue.
With Tinubu on the ballot.
With Tinubu on the ballot.
He defeated
the Lagosian, the ex-governor of Lagos, called Bola Tinubu. And you know what he scored in Plateau and in Benue. So Peter Obi has basically, you know, inherited that Zikist political followership. And I tell you that even in the North now, a lot of people, especially young people, especially educated people, are saying that it's time for a Southeastern president.
So guys, the Northern leaders have come out to say that they are going to embrace Peter Obi as their candidate because nobody will want to suffer anymore in Nigeria. We have suffered enough. The Northerners have suffered enough from the hands of Tinubu of APC. They've suffered. After all the votes, after all the support they gave to Tinubu, Tinubu cannot even do anything in their state. Now, they are now angry and they are trying to form a formidable force with Peter Obi. They say that it's time for power to go to the east. I don't know who begged them, but right now they've suffered enough. So right now they're trying to form a force with Peter Obi to remove Tinubu from office and at least express a good governance. Take a look at the video to the end. I'll be with you guys in a minute as the area of views in the comment section.
You've seen those formidable politicians and technocrats, you know, and other, you know, top notches, you know, from the north at the Continental Hotel in Abuja this evening will tell you that the consultative group is well-grounded, is oiled and well-funded, and therefore, like I said, is going to play a very, very prominent role going forward in spelling out.
You can see the pictures. They are not to quote. You see Atiku, Adamu Maina Waziri. This is Kashim Imam.
Very well.
Kumalia,
yes.
And look at Peter Obi.
Yes.
Exchanging pleasantries.
Exactly.
But something unique, Najaku, about this gathering is even in the schedule of programs, they said, okay, goodwill messages from Southeast, from Southwest, from South. But we saw Peter Obi, for instance, you know, receiving a lot of applause from the gathering. Can you interpret that for us?
Yes, the interpretation is that the consultative group is very, very serious. It has a very good reach and is taken serious by all of those people you saw gathering there. And the fact that Peter Obi made it to that gathering is remarkable. And you don't forget, since the demise of Nnamdi Azikiwe, Peter Obi is the most formidable presidential candidate to have come out from the Southeast.
Since Azikiwe? Since Azikiwe. What about Alex Ekwueme and...
Alex Ekwueme, was he really a presidential candidate? He didn't get the ticket, did he? He didn't get the ticket. He lost the ticket to Obasanjo. And earlier on, I think he had also lost it to Obasanjo. Alex Ekwueme was in the forefront in the formation of PDP. But unfortunately, during the short transition program of General Abdulsalami Abubakar, Alex Ekwueme and the founders of PDP were off stage. And they removed, Olusegun Obasanjo from the prison and gave him the ticket, because they zonalized the presidency to the Southwest. You remember that his other opponent on APP platform was also Olufalai. But I tell you again, Peter Obi is a very, very formidable politician now. He has
what makes him formidable?
It's because, I was going there, it's because of the passionate followers that he has. It's because of the reach.
Can we say he's the Buhari of the Southeast of sorts?
Yes, he's a Buhari.
Because they said that, okay,
exactly.
Buhari, you know, he had his fanatic 12 million votes.
Exactly.
That come rain, come shine,
exactly.
They are there for him.
Exactly. So the sentiment in Southeast, you know, is suggesting a Peter Obi presidency. Don't forget, Peter Obi won Lagos in 2023. I think he won Benue.
With Tinubu on the ballot.
With Tinubu on the ballot.
He defeated him.
He defeated the Lagosian, the ex-governor of Lagos, called Bola Tinubu. And you know what he scored in Plateau and in Benue. So Peter Obi has basically, inherited that Zikist political followership. And I tell you that even in the North now, a lot of people, especially young people, especially educated people, are saying that it's time for a Southeastern president. And they see hope and promise in Peter Obi.
As a political analyst,
that's why his presence at this consultative group, even going to the extent of delivering
a keynote address.
Yes, a keynote address is something worldwide.
And that is what I want to ask. How significant is that? What message are these people of northern extraction are sending to Tinubu and the APC?
Very good question. I think the message to Tinubu is that minus him and his cabal, the entire country is against him. The northern politicians, the northern technocrats, and all those who gathered at Continental Hotel today understand something. Even though Peter Obi, like the politician he is, he said the North can change Nigeria.
And despite the endorsement, last week it was actually, contrary of endorsement by, is it the Northwest, is it the whole of the National Assembly? We saw endorsement upon endorsement.
I will make this point, then come to those endorsements.
Okay.
So I'm saying that the message at the consultative group is that the North and the Southeast are about to have another handshake
across the Niger.
Yes, and if you remember, decades ago, there was, there were alliances. In fact, fusion, if you like, between the Southeast and the North, whether it was during Tafawa Balewa or it was during Shehu Shagari. So the message is that the North and the Southeast are working together to unseat Tinubu. And because there is also another thought, just like Sule Lamido said, Tinubu is an emperor. So how do you remove an emperor? You use blood, toil, and tears to remove an emperor. And what it means is that in 2027, Tinubu might not accept being defeated. And who knows, the struggle to remove Tinubu might spill over into Onitsha streets, Kaduna streets, Kano streets, Enugu streets, Owerri streets, and so on.
You speak in the same tongue as Babachir Lawal, who said the endorsement is almost nothing. Even the governors, they should just find their feet.
Yes, because you see, in the final analysis, Tinubu is coming face to face with the hungry people of Nigeria. There are 75% of Nigerians who are in the rural areas who are in abject poverty. And there are about 130 million Nigerians, as we talk, who have collapsed, who have fallen into poverty. These are the people that Tinubu is going to confront in 2027. Not people defecting, not people defecting to APC because maybe EFCC has crumbled some piece of paper before them, or it has telephoned them, or because somebody has promised them a ticket, or even outright winning of election, or because of their belly. Those are not the people who are going to deliver votes to Tinubu in 2027. It's the people that Tinubu has neglected. The over 100 million Nigerians who have descended into abject poverty, none of whom can claim gutter as his own, as his belonging. These are the people who are going to vote. And these are the people who are catching hell because of Tinubu's excruciating and cruel economy.
You no longer sound as a member of the APC, Najao.
I'm still a current member of the APC, but that doesn't shut me. That doesn't shut me up, because like Malam Nasir El-Rufai said, APC left him. APC has also left me long ago. You see, every political party has an ideologue. Even Bola Tinubu now has abandoned the party, so to speak. He's going after personalities because he thinks that personalities can make Omar, his
political ambition.
Yes.
And this seamlessly takes us to Kebbi State before we will open the line so that our viewers will ask you questions on some of these things we've discussed. Senator Alero, Abdullahi, and Maidoki, they have all moved to APC. The party you just said has abandoned you. So where is the departure?
You see, I can tell you authoritatively that the people of Kebbi are singularly and severally disappointed with the defection of Senator Muhammad Adam Aliru, Dr. Abdullahi.
I don't want to quote you, but we saw a crowd. We saw a crowd. Is it the 1,000 naira per person crowd during the the defection, even though they formally announced it here in Abuja?
I am not sure the crowd right now is with these 3 senators. It's unprecedented, and it's a very, very big scandal. 3 serving senators voted just less than 2 years ago on People's Democratic Party platform because they had defected to that party from APC, and because APC had denied them level playing ground, to contest for whatever they wanted to contest, and that was why they went to PDP. And people regarded, what APC did to them as injustice, and that's why people gathered around them, people voted for them, people supported them, and now all of a sudden, inexplicably, they defect again from PDP to APC. I can tell you that people in Kebbi, they are boiling. People see it as a breach of trust. People see it as unjust, and people think that it might well spell doom for their political ambitions. Look at Senator Mohammed Adam Aliru. This could be his 5th term in the Senate. He's a formidable politician. So people are still asking, why did Aliru suddenly defect from PDP to APC? They said leadership. They said there's no leadership in PDP. And then they say because of also the leadership in APC. There's no leadership in APC. What leadership?
You think it's non-sequential according to grammarians?
Of course,
when we don't have cogent reason.
There is no cogent reason. There is no reasonable reason. Because if you say there is no leadership in PDP, you are a leader. Why don't you provide the leadership? And it's an irony because if you say there is no leadership in PDP and then you run to APC, you may also cause it leadership crisis. And look at Dr. Yahya Abdullahi. This was a lecturer at ABU, Ahmadu Bello University.
Zaria.
He was in the course, or if you like, the camp of people like Bala Usman. Then he came to Federal Civil Service. He was a powerful permanent secretary of Niger Delta Ministry. He had good records there, almost unblemished. And the people of Kebbi North rallied around him because this was a guy also who ran for primaries in the gubernatorial primary against the incumbent governor Nasir Idris.
Yes.
And they scored him 0. They scored him 0. Probably he didn't vote for himself, right? Okay, and that was how he now crossed to PDP, and his followers followed him there, and they voted for him. And now this is the same Dr. Yahya that's now coming to APC. When, like I said, 75% of Nigerians in the rural areas are falling into poverty, and then 130 million Nigerians also crashing into poverty, and you can be sure 70 or 80% of these poor people are from the farmers. Some of them from Margungu itself, some of them from Aliru, many of them from Kebbi, some of them from Zuru area, where Garba Maidoki, the Greenhorn.
I wanted to ask, why do you think he too?
Well, because he just wanted to follow the crowd. He thought that Senator Adamu Aliru and Dr. Abdullahi were political oracles, and so since the oracle have moved, let me move. And you saw how this guy, Akpabio, the Senate president, embarrassed him. He said that since he told Senator Garba Maidoki that since he defected, he had kept quiet. Then he said APC. And then Senator Garba, right inside the Senate chamber, and then Senator Garba Maidoki said power. Whether it's power, he said, oh, power. Akpabio ridiculed him to say that Garba Maidoki was saying power, not power. That Garba Maidoki then couldn't speak, couldn't pronounce speak. Akpabio, what can Akpabio speak English? What does Akpabio know?
Now, beyond this, because we are actually trying to unravel, we even did a story. We spoke with some of the senators that defected, and we spoke with insiders and all that. Different reasons have been given, including maybe promise for automatic ticket. They say, is it contract? Is it that they will be off the hook of the anti-graft agencies? Because we've never seen this. Of course, we've been seeing defections in Nigeria, but this is unprecedented. 2 years into a tenure, people in their own right defecting to a ruling party. Are you privy to something that we don't really know as to why? Or is it just the crave to come back to the National Assembly?
I'm privy. Some of the reasons you gave were some of the reasons for which some of these senators...
But are they not rich? I don't know if we're talking about it.
Yes, they are rich. But I was told also in good authority by a top politician that one of the senators who defected told him that, look, I'm off. I'm going to APC because I've been threatened, because I've been told that EFCC is going to collect all of my belongings. And I just cannot allow that to happen, considering the sweat.
So when he joins APC, his sins are forgiven.
Yes.
It's the sanctuary now.
After all, this guy has said it. Adams Oshomole during the 2019, you know,
you are forgiven.
Yes, that once you go to APC, all of your sins are forgiven. So part of the reasons truly were that there were reasons to believe that some of these senators, you know, their cases, their petitions with the FCC will be dusted up, and they will be, they will go for trial at the courts. But I also, let me say this, I read this report you said, which Trust Niswa, Daily Trust Niswa made, and one of the persons who was interviewed was Kawu Sumaila.
Yes.
And Kawu Sumaila, you know, used to be one of the young talks, if you like, of northern politics, particularly his senatorial district, you know, Kano South. You know, but the reason he gave for defecting Kawu Sumaila, I'm sorry, he's so disappointed. He said that Tinubu promised him whether it's 96 billion naira.
Well, I actually interviewed him. What he said was during his campaign, he told his people that he's going to fight for the reactivation of Tiga Dam and other dams in Kano. And since he came to the National Assembly, that was what he kept doing. And then he got approval even before he defected. So there is actually, the apples apart, his defection and the approval of the 96 billion naira contract for the reactivation.
So which one came first?
The contract.
How do you know?
What he told me.
He told you why. He didn't tell you the truth. His defection is tied to that approval. And look, where we got this, where we photocopied this democracy from. You don't defect to ruling party simply because it has approved irrigation, whatever, you know, for.
But you can, but you know, Najaku, you can lobby to get. Even in the US, we have this pork barrel, right? You use your position, you know, you influence projects to your constituency.
Yes, but as we are sitting down, I'm telling you that Senator Chuck Schumer of New York has not gone to Republican Party because President Donald Trump is doing something in his district, or because he threatened him or whatever. Senator Chris Murphy, who I saw, by the way, in a video clip, you know, at the top of his act, haranguing, scolding Kristi Noem, the former governor of South Dakota and the current Homeland Secretary, you know, of U.S. Chris Murphy is a top-notch Democratic senator. He was doing his job of oversight, serious oversight. The same with Crockett, Jasmine Crockett.
So you are trying actually to establish, a parallel between what is happening in the other climes and what is happening
between the original democracy maybe and the photocopy democracy. All of these three guys I said, Senator Chuck Schumer, Chris Murphy, and House of Congresswoman Jasmine, they didn't cross over to Republican Party because of pressure from this guy Donald Trump. And you know, Donald Trump is one of the most vindictive American politicians or presidents ever, but they're still staying put in their party. You have to stay put in your party to rebuild it. That's what democracy is about.
We delve into the conversation. Here are some major stories in the polity. Former Vice President and 2023 People's Democratic Party presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar, his counterpart in the Labour Party Peter Obi, and other prominent politicians like Rotimi Amechi, Kashim Ibrahim Imam, Yusuf Datti Baba Ahmed, Adolphus Wabara, and Babashir Lawal were among the hundreds of people who attended a pro-Arewa meeting organized by the National Political Consultative Group in Abuja on Sunday. There are suggestions that a prominent general from the north has a hand in the activities of the group, but we are still trying to find out the level of his involvement. While the exact purpose and scope of the group remains unclear, it is believed to be a coalition platform being explored by northern political stakeholders in preparation for the 2027 presidential election. The meeting has drawn several prominent political figures, party leaders, and elder statesmen amid growing discussions of a possible grand coalition among opposition parties to take over power from the APC. Our correspondents report that the meeting at the Abuja Continental Hotel was briefly disrupted following a disagreement over representation from Jigawa State. Tensions rose when the former secretary to the government of the Federation, Babashir Rawal, announced a delegate to speak for the state. But in protest, several Jigawa delegates stormed the stage, blocking the individual from speaking and insisting they would not be represented by those named. Calm was, however, restored after some with appeals as Mustafa Lamido, son of the former Jigawa State Governor Sule Lamido, along with another delegate, was chosen to speak on behalf of the state. We have some clips from there.
The North can change Nigeria. The greatest aspect of this country is the North. We can make more money, I say it every day, we can make more money from oil, from farm, agriculture, than we make from oil. And I'm starting to do it every day. If the entire country produces less than 6 million tons of rice, that is less than 10% of what Bangladesh produces. Bangladesh is a country that lives on 148,600 square kilometers of land. That is the size of 2 northern states. Niger has 76.3 and Borno has 70.8. Equal to Bangladesh.
That was Peter Obi in the midst of northern technocrats and politicians. Closely related to this, this division has crept into the African Democratic Congress, ADC, following reports of its adoption by former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and the 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, as a platform to challenge President Bola Tinubu in 2027. Amid the unfolding drama, a National Daily reported that the party quietly amended its constitution to grant equal rights and privileges to incoming members, a move impregnated by insiders as a strategic step to accommodate high-profile defectors ahead of the coalition. However, the move sparked resistance among some state officials who vowed not to relinquish their positions to new entrants. While a few expressed openness to leadership changes in the spirit of unity, others insisted they would not step aside for the new power blocks. And coming closer home in the Federal Capital Territory, the minister, Inwese Wike, has said that he has pulled out of all previous agreements reached to resolve the lingering crisis in the People's Democratic Party, vowing to fight until justice is attained. The FCT minister alleged that Governor Sheyi Makinde of Oyo State is the architect of the party's present problems, alleging that non-adherence to agreements reached remains the bane of the party. In a statement on Sunday titled PDP Crisis, My Position, which he personally signed, the minister insisted that solutions reached that Senator Samuel Anyanwu remained the national secretary of the PDP in tandem with the Supreme Court judgment. All legal matters relating to Rivers State must be withdrawn by the National Legal Advisor, the suit on the state of emergency be withdrawn forthwith, and that nobody should deviate from the agreement so reached must be respected by all the parties involved. And viewers, you will also have the opportunity to call midway into the program and share your thoughts on the talking points of the conversation. Once again, welcome to Sunday Politics. Abuna Joku, welcome once again.
Thank you.
Maybe I should start with the last tidbit, because the first two tidbits, have to do with the major theme of our conversation. You can see Wike reeling out more conditionalities for PDP to have peace. Will PDP ever have peace?
PDP will not have peace, because through the actions of Nyesom Wike, PDP has basically been torn into shreds. You have to understand that Wike is a very, very, Wike thirst for power, for political power, would never allow PDP to settle. So it beats, it makes me laugh when Wike says he will fight for justice. Which justice? Now, there have been insinuations that Wike will always have his way with the judiciary, this and that. So if Wike has his way with judiciary, why is he saying that his party should not, sue in court for against the emergency that was?
But he said the court said, Anyanwu, even though that is untestable also. People believe that the Supreme Court left that
exactly
part, hanging,
unsaid, yes.
Neither here nor there. But he's saying, I think he has arrogated the explanation about that to himself by saying that Anyanwu must remain the
National
Secretary, and then all litigations
should be
withdrawn against River State, and it's like he has shifted the blame to Makinde. From I think, is it that Atiku has moved on? He believes that Atiku will not dissipate more energy to fight for the soul of the PDP.
Very well, and therefore that has left him, as the last man standing, or if you like, the de facto leader of PDP, and that's why he's now telling you that his next opponent is Makinde. I'm not so much, you see, what I don't understand is why Wike will insist that the PDP should not sue, over the emergency rule in
so in a way he's being selective in
picking what favors him. Yes.
Yeah.
What favors him?
And is it that maybe he's been threatened by Makinde? We saw Makinde's posters in Kano, in Bauchi, and other northern states. Towards the end of last week. Maybe he wants to now ground him. I don't know, in a way.
That's what I'm telling you. That he has now told you who his next opponent is. Now, if the impression is that Atiku has left the PDP for good, then Wike is telling you that the only threat to him now, taking over the PDP completely, is Makinde.
And he said at the time, still last week, that if they want peace, they should cede, the presidential ticket to the South. Some people say that most likely, if they cede the ticket to the South, he will challenge Tinubu. But then a statement came somewhere that he said he will not challenge Tinubu.
He will not challenge Tinubu. What all Wike is doing, there are two things Wike is doing. Number one, he wants to make sure the cost is clear for Tinubu, that PDP does not whatsoever interfere with Tinubu's governance or his election. And then on the other hand, he wants to continue to be the godfather in River State. So he doesn't brook any interference in these two things.
Invariably fighting the war from different fronts. But now let's move to the second of our tidbit. We are shocked. ADC has been there for a very, very long time, participated in different elections, no crisis. So some of us political reporters were appalled where we heard that now there is a friction within the ADC, which is being touted as the next platform for Atiku and Obi in the event they agreed to coalesce into a force. What is your take on this? Can we say that this one is also instigated from outside?
Very well. Very well. You see, ADC has been a sleepy party. I recall that one of its presidential flag bearers,
Pat Utomi.
Yes, Pat Utomi.
Yes.
You understand. So since then, like I said, ADC has gone to sleep. But now,
I think in the last election they didn't cross sixth position
because P2B is recognized worldwide. Who wouldn't want to form a force with P2B? Who wouldn't want to support a candidate that have proven that he has the people in the mind? Someone that have come out publicly to say that he is not coaliting with anybody. He wants to coalite against poverty. He wants to coalite against hunger. Somebody that have always been saying things about how hungry Nigeria is, how rich we are, how Nigeria can be great from the north. Many things he have said from his mouth is enough proof that this man is the best candidate that we will miss if not voted in this election coming. Because he have come out to say that this is the last election he's going to come out and campaign or come out and contest as the president of Nigeria, because I think we're talking about age. That after this 2027, they're not going to come out again. So this is the last chance Nigeria have, the last shot we have to make it right. So even the North know that this man is capable. Imagine P2B defeating Lagos State in the last election. P2B that just joined LUP new, defeating Lagos State, defeating the former governor of Lagos State, defeating him massively in Lagos State, massively in the North. If not that what happened in the last election, we all know who won the election. We all know that every state P2B went in, he conquered that state. Only state I can say that he didn't win was Port Harcourt, because we all know what happened there, what Wike did there. But this man have proven that he's the best candidate for Nigeria. He's the best candidate for every tribe, because right now you're not doing tribe. He's from the east. He's an Igbo man, but he have helped the Northerners. He have helped every tribe in Nigeria. So it's no longer a tribalism something. He's now the best man for the job. Let me get to your views about this video right now in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe. Like it's your boy again, Kizword. Take you guys in my next video.